Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Cyndi. Walter, welcome to Savvy Broadcasting Life Unscripted. I'm so grateful to have you here today. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, I'm super excited to have you here today. You are the founder and business owner of Cynergy, Inc. You are also been a fitness instructor and had a passion for fitness your whole life, but you also have helped businesses grow and market and also kind of see an effective way to get their message out that is positive, because with social media and so many ways to get your message out, there's also a way to get your message out in a way you didn't intend sometimes. But you're going to help us share and get into all those nitty gritties. So welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Excited to share. Excited to help your listeners any way I can.
Yeah. And you mentioned beforehand that Cynergy, the title of your business, has a backstory. There's a reason you titled it as such. Share that with our audience.
Sure. So I've been a work from home mom for 24 years. I have 4 kids. I say kids. My baby will be 18 and my oldest will be 25. And I've always been in direct selling, network marketing. And about 7 years ago, I partnered with a health and wellness company. And when I decided to incorporate my business, and give it a name and a brand, I decided to call it Cynergy because I believe everything works synergistically. And so just recently, I've kind of gone through a little bit, I would say a rebrand. I'm updating my website, and I'm trying to really be more stepping up my being more intentional on social media. And so I'm trying to get all my pillars out there of the things that are near and dear to my heart. So, first my faith, my family, my friends, my business, and then of course my health and fitness and mindset. I'm a health, wealth, and mindset coach. And so I wanted to get all those pillars out there. So to me, all of those things work synergistically together. And when I'm doing well in all of those different areas, life goes really great. And then if I start to drop a ball on one of them, then I have some struggles. So it's really just I don't believe in perfect balance. It's never, perfect, but I just try the best to really give attention to all those pillars that are important to me.
Yes, and what I really liked about the title of your name, it has the first 3 letters of your name, Cynthia, and then also Cynergy, which is great. But it's also amazing. You mentioned something important about being really intentional when you communicate, both on social media and out of social media. And I found for myself, you can get lost in that. You just start putting stuff, posting it, and realizing, am I really connecting with the people who follow me and care about my brand or my business or the people I want to help? How do you stay on target with really making sure your message is helping people and that's really your core set?
That's a great question. And social media just keeps changing. So, when you're in business and you're promoting your business on social media, you just have to always be watching what's changing. And it was for a while there, content, just keep pushing out content, more content. Now I think people are really wanting to see the genuine you, to be vulnerable and be genuine and authentic and really be yourself. So now it's changed. So I don't post maybe as often as I used to, but my posts are definitely more intentional. So people are hearing 100% from my heart who I am, and they know how I can help them. There's no question what I can do to help them, where before it was like, just throw things out there and hope something sticks.
Yeah, I like that. It's like spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. We had a guy a number of years ago that talked about the selfie generation, he called it, that we just post and take a picture of myself on the beach with my little toes and stuff like that. And, it was interesting. It was kind of like my own, TV channel of sorts of what it became on all the social media. But you're right. Now it's more about, we just don't want to see your own TV channel where everything's perfect. We want to see what's really going on with Cyndi, what's really going on with Christina, and how can I relate? Because we can relate to real people, to perfect people. We all can't relate to that because it doesn't matter where you are in life or how successful you are. No one's perfect.
Right. And it's so funny. I can give you a great example of this week. So most people come to me for health and fitness tips. I'm a health and wellness coach, and that's what I do for a business. But this week I decided to give a tip on Instagram. I did an Instagram story, which then of course goes to Facebook. And all I did was I went into my closet and I shared a tip on how I have a lot of clothes, but I live, because I work from home, in yoga pants. I put the same clothes on all the time, unless I'm getting dressed up to go do something. And so I went into my closet and I showed something that I had paid someone to help me with once before, but this time I did it myself, and I just made outfits and put them on a hanger together. So if there was a shirt, a pants, a sweater, a jacket, whatever, if there was a tank top underneath, all on one hanger. And I did about 15 of these outfits, brought my just cell phone in my messy closet. I did that. You would not believe how many people popped out of the woodwork to message me about that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So people like the fact that my closet was messy. I was being authentic. I told them that, you know, even though I know how to do this, it's not something I spend time on. And I have 3 daughters who are always telling me, Mom, you know, step it up a notch. And so people related to the story, and it really blew my mind how much attention it got. So I think that's why, because I was telling them something that I struggled with and a solution that I found to fix it. And my solution helped them.
Yeah. And that is the perfect recipe there, to really, really get authentic and really see, how can I help people with what I have to give, not what someone else had. Oh, I'm going to do what he does, you know, because it's working for him. That's him. That's his gift. That's his skills. It might not be yours.
Right.
So I like that you pulled that out and found a story that connected with everyone. Now, one thing that happened to me when I first got started, I forgot what my gifts and my talents were. I didn't even know what I could share. How do you work with someone to begin to realize what are their gifts today that they could share? They may, I have none, but you do, but they've lost touch. How do they begin to get in touch with that?
Yeah, that's another great question. That's something I do a lot with my business builders. So the majority of my clients, we're up to almost 42,000 clients. Most of them are people that I'm simply putting on products and helping them get healthy. About 15% are business builders. So they're doing what I do. So those are the people that I will deal with this issue on. And so really, I will just ask questions like, what do you love? Because, you know, you need to be working in the area of your gifting. What do you love? Where do you feel lit up and on fire? So for me, there's certain things that I do that I love doing. I love speaking. I love training. I love pouring belief into people and helping people grow their vision and grow their why. I love all those things because that's my gifting. So I try to pull that out of them. You know, what do you love doing? What just completely fires you up? What do you wake up in the morning excited about, on fire for? What do you go to sleep at night grateful for? And try to pull that out of them, and then figure out what they can delegate and get rid of. There's like, I cannot stand anything to do with taxes, billing, payroll, any of that. So I've delegated all of that to my husband. He likes doing it. I don't. It works well. So you figuring out what can you delegate, what areas of things in your job description don't you enjoy doing that you can delegate, get rid of, and really focusing on the areas that you love. I'm not going to try to learn how to love accounting and tax work. Like that to me, I'm not working in my area of giftedness if I do that. So that's why I have help with that. I work on things and go to conferences so I can become a better speaker, a better trainer, a better coach.
Yeah. And you're so right. And it's interesting here. I've talked to so many people, including way back when I got started. I chose something that I just thought would be a slam dunk, but I did in corporate for 20 years, which is finance. I'm really good at it. And I do love numbers, but not the way I would want to jump out of bed and go, woo-hoo! That would be what I'm doing with you right here, right now, which is connecting with people. And we all just learn and grow. I love learning. I'm curious. But the interesting part is when I first got started, I said, I'm going to open a financial firm. And boy, did it go under, baby. It went horribly. And my mentor said, so, well, do you love it? I'm like, hells no. And she's like, so what do you love? I'm like, I love talking to people, but you can't make a living doing that. And boy, was I wrong. So yeah, I think that's the one thing you're talking about here, that when you connect with people, they'll say, oh no, I draw pictures. There's no way I can make money from that. Well, yes, you can. I can't draw pictures. I might need you to do a logo for me. So it's that pulling out the gift that you might even take for granted that really can change the world and give to the world. Gifting, as you call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just read a book, Gary V, called Crushing It. And I was just at an event this morning and I was talking to this lady, and she was trying to show me pictures of her grandchildren, and all these craft pictures kept coming up. And I said, what are you getting ready to do? Make some holiday gifts? What are you getting ready to do? She goes, no, I follow this lady. She's famous now all over social media. She goes into the dollar store. She buys these things super cheap, and she makes beautiful crafts out of them. And I said, and I brought up this whole concept to her. I'm like, you can do what you love and make money with it. So this woman she loves to craft. She had a corporate job. She left her corporate job. Now she makes a ton of money, and she's famous on social media for doing what she loves to do. It's just beautiful when that works out like that.
Well, you were just mentioning the thing that, I don't do it either, which is really pay attention to my clothes and keeping things organized. It's not my thing. I don't like doing it once or twice a year. I just have to do it because it's such a mess. But Maria Kondo, who's all over Netflix, all over the world, Japanese lady, who would have thought in college, I'm organizing people's closets. I love it. And boom, she is super popular for it. So you never would think, hey, I love to organize. I could do it all day long. It makes me so happy. But there's people out there who need it like I do.
Absolutely. And I paid for it once. My girlfriend was getting ready to do it. And so we had fun with it. And she didn't charge me a whole lot, but I thought that I loved having it. And that was like 3 years ago. And so I thought, I'm just going to do it for myself, spend a couple hours, knock out a bunch of outfits. And then, because otherwise I wear the same things together every single time. I don't change things up. I don't mix it up. I just grab what's easy and go. So it's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's go to communication, because communication is not just a spoken word. It's not just written. It's also how you present yourself. It's a form of communication. When you walk about, you go to a conference, you connect with people, even putting out your hand and talking to them, you're making communication. You're communicating with people, because communication isn't just the words out of your mouth. Share with people how you've helped them more effectively communicate and how people can get in touch with effectively communicating in their business.
Yeah, I have to tell you, this was my degree in college, was communications. And I wasn't sure how I was going to use it. Back then, I wanted to be a news broadcaster. But boy, oh boy, I am so thankful for what I learned, because no matter what you do in life, you have to be an effective communicator. And I really feel, of all of the things that I'm gifted with, and there's a lot of things I'm not gifted with, but communication is definitely one of them. And learning to be, another great example, I just called one of my daughters who's in college, and I said, I have some feedback to give you on your last post, if you're open to it. And she said yes. And she had posted something that might have upset her roommate. They're having some trouble. And so when I pointed it out to her, she's like, Mom, I never even thought about that. And it's just because her way of communicating, she's not thinking, and not that we need to live in what are other people going to think mode. I'm not saying that at all, but she wasn't being sensitive. So a lot of communication is being sensitive to who you're talking about. So if I'm talking to, there's all kinds of different color codes out there, but my personality is very, I want people to like me. I go above and beyond to help people. I love people. I love to help people. So when I get someone that's very strong and confident and maybe a little sterner in their words, that personality type kind of intimidates me. But the longer I have studied this and the better I've gotten with this, I just communicate with that style person differently. With them, I stand taller. I talk more confidently, and I figured out a way to communicate with them properly. Where if I'm talking to someone who's very maybe sensitive, feelings get hurt easy. Like my daughter, I had to ask her if she was open to my feedback before I gave it to her. Because if I would have just said, Jenna, what you posted yesterday might have hurt your roommate's feelings, she wouldn't have understood that. But when I pointed it out to her, she's like, you're right. You're right. So it's just really being open. And I also love to ask questions. So I'm always asking questions of people. Very quickly, you find common ground with people and things that you can talk about and communicate with. And that's an effective communicator finds common ground with whoever they're talking to. And you can always find something. So, even though I'm not a numbers person, if I was in a room with a CPA, I would find something to talk to about that CPA. First of all, I'd say, I thank God every day that there are people like you that are into numbers and all of that, because I can't do that, and so I would, edify them and figure out a way to find some other things that we could talk about. So I don't know if that answers your question, but.
No,
Yeah.
it absolutely, absolutely does. I love that you brought that up because it's so true. Many years ago, I worked with this boss who's really, really hard-hitting boss, kind of like you were talking about, really aggressive. But when you would come to the table and there's some issues with an account you have, he's like, okay, what's your plan of attack for plan B, C, D? Like, you better have it all lined up like ducks in a row. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, I'd have them, lined up, and I got used to that communication style of, okay, I got to go into his office with the problem and have some ideas of what I'm going to do to fix them, or he's going to come down my throat. So I came in that idea, and then he changed, and they got a new boss. And she was totally different person, different communication. And I was so used to working with this guy, the past boss for 4 years, that when she came on board, I did the same thing. Okay, here's the problem. Here's my plan. A, B, C. And she's like, she was just like totally thrown about. She totally didn't like me. And it started us off on a really bad foot where she thought I was trying to take over her job or something. Totally not. But see, I wasn't taking into effect. This is not the same person. This is a different person. She communicates differently, and she doesn't need this information like that. That's how he wanted it, not how she needs it.
Yeah, and I went through last year a certification process to become a certified mindset coach, and one of the programs that we went through was a communication style type program. It was a color program, so you kind of figured out what color you were, and then how to relate to all the different colors, and that's really the important thing. And whether you call it color, personality, style, whatever test you've done that's out there, it's just learning to be sensitive when you're talking to different people with different personalities. And being able to relate to them. I can with people on my team, I'm thinking of 2 top leaders. I could tell them the same thing, but I have to say it very differently to each one of them. Wow. One of them, if I said it, one wants to be direct. I have to be very direct with her. The other one, I need to kind of candy coat things a little bit with her. So I have to talk to her because she's sensitive. I have to talk to her a little bit differently. So when you can master that and figure out, how best to communicate with people so that they don't get defensive, so that they are open and can embrace what you're wanting to say. If you're leading, if you're a leader, if you're leading them, they'll take it so much better too. And when you do it with a genuine heart that you really have their best interest at hand, or your team or your company or wherever, whatever you're working on, and you do it with a genuine heart, it'll be very well received.
Yeah, and really, it comes down to the fact that then you're showing that you have respect for them, and it creates a win-win situation because it's not about, oh, I got to get my point across in my way. It's about I'm working about where you're at and understanding where you're coming from, and it paints a picture where we're all like understanding each other.
Right.
Now, I want to get something here. Now, colors, I find very interesting. You talked about synergy, energy, how things are connected, interconnected. I'm wondering, do colors have this certain energy that people are really literally a color of sorts, like their personality or their person?
Yeah, the way this program works, there's 4 colors, and you blend into each color. And the more you grow in your leadership skills, like I definitely, when I'm with an orange, I can talk like I'm an orange. When I'm with a green, I am a green. I can talk like I'm green. That's easy for me. But you can kind of see yourself in all of them, but prominently you're one of these colors. And so you go through the program, and it helps you understand who you are. But the thing I got out of it when I did this program, and we've taught it, and I've worked people through this, is you understanding what someone else's color is, or if you're not doing colors, whatever, just understanding why people are the way they are, what makes them tick, and how can you have a conversation with them and have it work, that they respect you, that you respect them. And a lot of it is respect. Like you were saying, a lot of people, they just want to feel valued. They want to feel that you take them seriously, that you respect them. And when you can figure out how to do that genuinely, it's so wonderful. So yeah, the color program, I can send you information on it. It's fabulous.
Yeah, it's totally
really helped me. It's really helped me.
Yeah, I found it intriguing. Well, we could go on for hours. This is such an in-depth topic that I don't want people to leave without finding out how they can work with you, find out more about you. How can they do that?
Sure. My website is cindywalter.com, and it's CYNDIWALTER. I have a free gift there. You can get a healthy living guide, and everything is on there. So the mindset programs are on there. My health and wellness coaching is on there, and it's under construction. We're making it even better, but there's some great blog posts on there just for overall better health as well, sleep, all kinds of great things.
Yes.
And I also offer free 15-minute consultation. So if there's something that your listeners would see that is intriguing or they want more information on, then they could set up a free 15-minute consultation.
Yeah, I love that, Cyndi, because one thing that's important for running a healthy or a great business is a healthy lifestyle. When you're super healthy, if you're not healthy, everything else goes out the window. My husband was sick last year, and he said, you know what, it's interesting. You don't think about being sick or unhealthy until you are. And then that takes front stage, and everything else is, without that. Yeah.
So true. And so I help a lot of people that are in business because they don't have enough energy, and they know that they've taken their health for granted. And if they took care of themselves, they'd be more productive. They'd have more energy. And then, of course, probably business would be better too. So yeah, it's so true. Health is everything. And that's why it's one of my pillars, one of my pillars for sure.
Awesome. Well, Cyndi, I just have to thank you again for coming to Savvy Broadcasting and sharing your great wisdom today. Everyone go to CyndiWalter.com. And thank you so much, Cyndi, for coming.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
If you like this episode, please share. To hear more Savvy episodes and Savvy Biz tips, go to lifeunscriptedradio.com. To become a guest or participate in paid sponsorship, email us at Christina@lifeunscriptedradio.com.